Hello, noble ones. Welcome back to my channel. This is the Metatron speaking. Welcome to the absolute nonsense of the week. So, today we're talking about Pragmata. I haven't got a clue. I'm gonna go with Pragmata. But for this one, we're not really talking about the game proper, but mostly about the controversy that has spawned a multitude of absolute troglodytes. The controversy being mostly around this girl, this Diana, or to be precise, model DI03367 Android. I do my research. Anyways, if you decide to look for the topic of Pragmata on X, you will notice that everybody's been talking about it for reasons that, oh my gosh, we live in such a clown world, and of course this guy as well had to say something ridiculous, and we're gonna check all of it. Anyways, I'm gonna simplify it and dividing it into three main positions or schools of thought when it comes to Pragmata and the public opinion. You've got position number one, people that absolutely love the game, they thought it was amazing, heartwarming and whatnot, they call it Dad Simulator. And of course, this is a big chunk because if you look at the Pragmata X account, boom, 1 million units sold. And even she said thank you to every single one of you. Lovely. That's type 1. Then you've got type 2, which are people that enjoyed the game and specifically this character because of other reasons. They're sick in their head. Don't download that PDF file in your head. Believe it or not, this is a big deal actually. It links to what is now called the Pragmata Reddit controversy. Of course it was gonna be Reddit. In other words, the Pragmata subreddit got banned. Why did it got banned? Because it was filled to the brim with adult images of the child android. That's type 2, I guess, of people. Type 3. Type 3 are the clowns. The clowns. The so-called Pragmata pro-family controversy, whereby we've got full-on dedicated articles, including the one at The Gamer, that says gaming cannot allow Pragmata's Diana fan club to flourish, by Stacey Henley. Pro-family propaganda, you say? Well, it seems like that there are some anti-natalists, feminists, I imagine, people that really got offended because how dare you depict a functioning father-daughter relationship. Get it, it's an android, but I mean, a family, a happy family, it's disgusting. How dare you? I'm offended. Given, these are clowns. I'm not going to clown all over them because that's what they, in fact, I apologize for it, insulting clowns. All right? But the reality is this, and I think that this kind of gives us an idea of where we are as a society these days. Everything has to be offensive. An absolutely adorable character design like this in a otherwise excellently made game. People say it's fun. I think the graphics are great. It's a good game. It has to become the issue of a controversy. You have to have a debate about it. And in fact, people have been pointing the finger at each other. Now, there is the group 2 that we discussed today, the ones that are sick in the head. Yes, we should point the finger at them, and I wish that some authorities got involved when it comes to those Reddit accounts, right? Fine. There are a lot of people that are pointing the finger at regular users. Someone who enjoys the game, thinks it's fun, and finds the character cute in a child sense. Oh, you're so cute, I want to do this, adorable. I want to have a daughter now. Love it. Would like to have my own family. This is adorable. Even these people now are being accused of, are you a PDF file? You have a, maybe we need to, a lot of the times it's projection, maybe check these people's hard drives when they make these kind of accusations, because honestly, if I hadn't seen it, how does that even, I want to show you. Hassan Piker, what did he say? What did he even say about this?
In any case, what is this? Capcom's Pragmata.
You know, for all the, I'm just going to say it, for all the anti-natalists out there, use him. Use him. He is literally the best argument for contraceptions. Let's go.
In any case, what is this? Capcom's Pragmata. Wait, did it come out already? Pragmata, it's making thousands of people suddenly want to start a family. You play as Hugh, a soldier, stranded on a ruined lunar research station. His job is protecting the childlike android Diana while fighting rogue AI. It's out already? Is it good? Isn't this like Death Stranding? In one emotional moment, she gives him a crayon drawing of the two of them together as a little family. Even streamers who say at the start they didn't want kids end up breaking down happy in tears. So what's really interesting about this is all of these unfuckable losers in the gaming sphere always talk about like starting families and stuff. And I don't understand.
Yeah, even if you're allowed to desire and dream, first and foremost, even if you're struggling to find the right person for you. That's nothing to be shamed, by the way, Mr. Champagne Socialist. And the other thing is that looks are not everything. You say, I'm fuckable. Even if someone is not a freaking actor, he might still find someone, Goodness gracious.
And like why this has become a thing that they care about. Like, if you're a gamer, you should care about things that you actually experience. You should care about things that you actually enjoy, right?
Hassan, you don't have to have a take on everything. Just don't. If you have nothing to add, nothing new to say, just don't. I think I do have something to say. Personally, when it comes to this, I'm making a nice video about it and addressing perhaps points that other people haven't. But you, what on earth is this? You don't know what to say. You're just improvising.
If you're a fucking lonely gamer who has never been around a woman and will never have sex with a woman, why do you care? Like, why do you care about having...
If anything, okay, if they are struggling because they can't have a family, they can have that in the virtual world. So it's like, you're a millionaire, right? But so many of us are not and will never be. Yet, we in video games, sometimes it's nice to build up this castle and become rich, at least in the freaking game. Why do you have to take that away from people? It's just to be contrarian. It's all this is. Because this is pro-family, and the nuclear family is seen today as a right-wing position. So the guy has to attack it. That's all this is, guys.
Children, or like riding for having children. Like, if they changed hot Cheetos, if they changed the recipe of hot Cheetos, if they changed the recipe of, like, I don't know, Dr. Pepper or something, and you fucking freaked out about that, that makes sense, right? Like, that's precisely what your life is about. But as far as like LARPing about starting families and whatnot, this is something that I never understand. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
It does not surprise me that you don't understand it, by the way.
Because it's just not something that you're going to experience ever for your life, for the rest of your life.
How do you know? My gosh, this guy's a clown. How do people even listen to this? Garbage. Yeah, nothing. Nothing makes sense. There is no logics. There is no intelligence. There is no insight. This is just, I don't know what to say. This is the topic. Let me just say something.
Right?
Oh my gosh. This guy. Yeah, 15 seconds of silence. What, did my headphones die or what?
Also,
no, they didn't. It's actually 20 seconds of silence.
I will say...
You will you?
Japanese game, putting a child in there.
You're
playing with fire.
Are you?
Okay. Don't get mad at me for saying this, but I feel like any Japanese game you put like a child, it's gonna invite maybe the worst possible fandom,
Unfortunately, that was the case. So I hate that I have to agree with him partially, and this is taking a lot of willpower to actually say it. I'm going to be honest with you. It did happen. It did invite some awful people. The game doesn't make the child do weird stuff or say weird stuff or dress her in weird ways. As long as the game is innocent from that point of view, it's not the game's fault that people are sick in their head. That's my point. What are you doing? Why are you not subscribed? Oh, seriously, man, what do I need to do? Come on, just click the subscribe button. Is it the... Look, listen. I'm gonna do it with you right now. I'm gonna subscribe to my own channel. See? I subscribed to myself, and you still haven't subscribed to me. But seriously, subscribe. Okay, so I'm gonna move to other clowns, which are the actual articles. How about we do that? Okay. Let's see if they're going to convince me with reason and logics. Gaming cannot allow Pragmata's Diana fan club to flourish. 1 million units sold. I'd say gaming just did that. Let's see, Stacy. Let's see. Why does she look exactly how I imagine her to look? I don't really mind people finding video game characters attractive. Oh, we're already starting completely wrong if we're talking about a game with a child. You're starting wrong. If I did mind, I would be hypocritical. Do people get weird about it and take it too far sometimes? Absolutely. But then that's the same for pop stars, actors, cartoon characters, and just real life people that we find attractive. It just happens. Fine. You could argue that weird attitudes towards characters are more frequent in video games, but that might just be that you have a greater interest in video games, I assume, unless you stumbled here from the pop star, and therefore see more of it. You could also argue it tends to be a bigger deal in video games, where the culture war is incessant and where the fictional, hyper-designed nature of character models tends to be seen as a win or lose for each side of this entirely imagined divide. Well, the divide is not entirely imagined, but I wish it wasn't actually continuously fixated on culture war issues, and there was a very easy way to avoid that, and it was to not put politics in our games. But anyways, let's continue. But it only matters as much as you care about it. I, a woke video game journalist, humbly declare that Eve from Stellar Blade is hot. Okay, well, I imagine that the rest of the woke journalists will burn you to a crisp because of it. Hope not. We agree then. Eve from Stellar Blade is hot. Fantastic. Great. This is commonly agreed upon, yet often fought over. I'm still not sure why. Tell me about it. The issue becomes, well, I do know why. It's because there are ugly women that are jealous of the character and who looks gorgeous. And they say, those are unnatural features. No human body looks like that. Yeah, they based it on a real model. The one here on the right, let me see if I can zoom in. I can't zoom in, but the one on the right is the model. This is Stellar Blade. Yeah, she was based on a real person. So there's that. Yeah, she exists. This girl, she exists. Sorry, not sorry. Let's continue. So far, she didn't say anything bad, but we'll see. The issue becomes when this is the primary reason for playing, which quickly becomes a toxic tar pit, wherein you start to convince yourself and are convinced by your immediate like-minded surroundings that this is the only reason games should exist. No one thinks that. This, I suppose, is why we fight over Stellar Blade. I might say that the game is a little shallow, that Eve lacks personality, that the mix of a GUN and melee combat doesn't work. Oh yeah, no, of course. Melee and firearms, Devil May Cry, anyone? Devil May Cry? Oh, these people don't talk about gaming if you haven't experienced it in the 80s. That's what I'm going to say. For those epic bosses, it attempts to serve up, but this would be received by some as merely making excuses to cover for the fact that I hate beautiful ladies. Absolutely. It's all a bit silly when it's framed like that, but it becomes more serious when the sort of attitudes pervade popular gaming discourse. These conversations, often by design, make the community a less welcoming place for those who don't think the sole and primary purpose of a video game is to serve up hot women. Yeah, I mean, we played Oblivion. They all looked like shit. It was still a great game. What are you on about? Men like gorgeous women, and oftentimes women like to play characters that are hot too. So the only people that have a problem with it are the activists. Because they say you're objectifying this and that, which is like, come on, shut it. And that's that. People like it. People like attractive people. That's it. Why? I don't want to play. I want to play a character who looks like a freaking bodybuilder, and he's gonna look amazing and awesome, like a hero of ancient Greece. Now, a lot of games offer a character creator, so if you want the character to not look like that, the stereotypical beauty of female and male bodies, fine. Don't do it. But don't come and do this to us. Anyways, becomes more serious still in the case of Pragmata. Why? The response to Pragmata's Diana cannot be normalized. They just were, unless she's talking about the insane people. Then I agree with her. Right? Then I will agree with a woke journalist, because I'm open-minded like that. But I assume this is not it. In the run-up to its release, Reddit banned the Pragmata subreddit because of its content. Okay, so we are on the same line. Even with gaming communities being infamously toxic, this is a rare occurrence. Our Pragmata... Well, look. Anything with r/, we should already start to think, okay, it's going to be a swampland of disgusting troglodytes. And then we need to be positive when instead I open the r/whatever tech and it tells me how to build a PowerPoint and they do a really good job and they are nice. Great. That's the exception. Majority of Reddit is disgusting these days. Let's continue. Pragmata was shut down due to Reddit's Rule 4, which refers to sexually explicit content of mine, as they are terrible. Pragmata's star is a childlike android Diana, who was the focus of this explicit content. This is not an isolated case either. One of the moderators of the main Pragmata mod stepped down because they were sick of all the PDF-style shit, while the community at large formed our Pragmata SFW. specifically found it to escape the Diana content that has become rampant on the main subreddit even after the ban. Terrible. Reddit is far from the only place you'll see people sexualizing Diana. Steam forums are full of open discussion of her attractiveness, including but not limited to lusting over her feet, oh goodness gracious, and wishing for mods that allow players to dress or undress Diana in more appealing ways. Yeah, no. Capcom has not helped itself in this regard, recently offering a Twitch emote of Diana crying in a pose extremely similar to a well-known lolicon meme. Yeah, I heard about that. I'm not aware of this lolicon meme, but I think it's too much to point the finger at Capcom over that, because I imagine that they didn't know. I didn't know. A lot of people never knew. So it's a little cute emote with her doing this. I mean, it's the problem of the people again in their head if they see that as attractive. Note, Diana is barefoot because she charges through her feet, and while it does convey childlike innocence to most players, yeah, the meme makes it harder to view this design choice through a lens which gives devs the benefit of the doubt regarding which audience. No, I mean, come on. What? So now the devs are PDF files because the child is shoeless. Oh gosh, all children are free. What has struck me the most with this is the boldness of it all. I'm not so naive as to be shocked by some of this behavior, nor am I ignorant to the fact that there are some bad people in bad corners of the internet. Yep, but that's just it. They aren't in the corners anymore. It feels like Pragmata signals a normalization of this approach to gaming where everything exists to be sexualized. No, because the game didn't do it. There we go. I'm disagreeing with the woke journalist as I was expecting up to this point. I mean, I agree. We can stand both. Okay? While we may disagree on everything else, on this one, we can stand against the psychos, okay? I'll take you, the woke journalist, over the psychos that fantasize over this. Go. Fine. But come on. This is not a normalization of the sexualization of a character that isn't sexualized in the game. You need to put context in this. And pointing the finger at the designers, the artists, and the developers who are just doing their job. And you're telling it, you made her without socks and shoes. And then there is this weird little image. Oh, are you trying to? No. I mean, you can't point the finger at this. And this must not be normalized. Calling people PDF files without proof. That must not be normalized. They did it with Asmongold, didn't they? And they were wrong. They should all be sued. And anything that cannot be sexualized is acting in a service of nefarious agenda to fundamentally shift society towards wokeness. I'm sorry? I thought you were... What are you on about? I need to read this again. Sorry. There's this approach to gaming where everything exists to be sexualized, and anything that cannot be sexualized is acting in service of a nefarious agenda to fundamentally shift society towards wokeness. No, no one is saying that. So you're imagining these imaginative right-wingers, bigots, that are saying, if it cannot be sexualized, it's woke. No, 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 and not with a child. Shut it. Shut it. Come on, Pragmata goes beyond the culture war. There was a similar sort of cheap discussion over Stellar Blade, but at least there, the woman being objectified was a woman, not a child. Already, she's not being objectified. She's just naturally attractive in a way that is hardwired to us as human beings because we want to reproduce. Whether you look at it from a naturalistic, atheistic perspective, because we want to reproduce because that's what species do, or from a religious perspective, because God said, go, multiply, and replenish the earth. So whichever way you look at it, reproducing is an inner imperative. Now, we have the ability to choose not to, and if you choose that you don't want to get married and have children, we're going to respect that freedom, absolutely. But at the same time, it's not an objectification to find what our species has naturally evolved to find normally attractive at a societal level and at a species level. It's biology. Of course, I'm going to find a healthy-looking body more attractive than a massively fat body. It's normal. Because the previous one looks like a body that has had good nutrition, so access to good resources. She can bear children. She's healthy. She's strong. So obviously we find that more attractive. Now, there are, I guess, people that find the opposite attractive, but it's a minority, right? I'm not going to judge. Whatever you find attractive, who cares? I don't care. But then I am going to judge the ones with a child, of course. But I'm not going to judge. If you like women that I find very non-attractive, I'm not going to point the finger at you, but neither should you point the finger at the overwhelming majority of our species, because let's be honest, while there is debate, and generally speaking, men that are too much bodybuilding, like massive with steroids, huge, a lot of women don't find that attractive. But a guy who has got a bit of pecs, he's tall, and he's got some shoulders and a little bit of arm. Not too much, but some women love that shit. And the reason is obvious. It's once again hardwired into our species for our survival. Looks like someone who can give you strong children. Looks like someone who can protect and provide. And so women like it, together with status. That's how it is. Not all women are into that, clearly. But I'm saying this is not... So are women objectifying the guy when they say, man, look at that guy? No, they're not. Because it's natural. It's normal. Oh, gosh. Game detriment, yeah. But all of this, the entire culture where everyone is beautiful and no one is horny, is far more intellectual discussion about how we approach and react to modern media. There's a battle between those who wish to over-sanitize media, considering sex scenes to hold no narrative weight, to even be intrusive to viewer sensitivities, and those, well, yeah, you can make them optional. A lot of games, by the way, allow this, like remove nudity. Boom. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. Boom, removed. You have the option to remove it. And so there's that. And those who have flattened culture down to be nothing but a magazine wrapped in black plastic and sold onto the top shelves. I haven't got a clue what she's talking about here. Right, I have not yet played Pragmata. Yeah, me neither. So how about we play it before we talk about the game itself? And so I'm going to tell that to myself. Although then again, this situation with a child, you can talk about it without having played the game. But let's not talk about the game if we don't know how good it is. And again, 1 million sold copies, guys. I'm a little tapped out on the stories where men adopt daughter-like figures and prove their masculinity by protecting them. That's exactly it. That's the woke part. That's the woke part. That is exactly what masculinity is. A man protects and provides women and children. That's it. That's a man. I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing wrong with it. Once again, not for every man. Not for every man. But it's nothing wrong with it as a concept. And again, a good, strong father-daughter relationship is what we want from a society, for everyone. It's how it is. Because when that's not the case, it's a problem. It leads to problems, all sorts of problems. I suppose it's marginally a better power fantasy than killing everybody with your awesome strength. Okay. But then The Last of Us makes room for both anyways. The Last of Us 2 was awful, by the way, for the activism and pushing on nonsense. It was terrible. If I play Pragmata and Capcom's post-launch attitude towards the Diana fandom will be a major factor in this. It won't be because I find the child at the center of the game attractive. I hope gaming can get back to a place where, if it's too much to hope, that these people cease to exist, that at the very least they don't get to be so proud of it without consequence. And I agree with the last sentence. So, completely useless article in my opinion. And I hated the part about, oh, you objectify women. Yeah, and you objectify men, everybody does it, but it's not objectification, first. Second, this power fantasy of the strong dad that protects the daughter. Yeah, it's a great thing. And third, for all of those who complained about, but it's pro-nativist, and there is nothing wrong with it. People have complained that the character has an adult face from like an adult model that has been pasted onto the child body in order to attract people who are PDF files, but that falls flat because one, this still looks like a child. And even if this was, they are putting an attractive adult model's face into a 3D character onto the body of a child, when in theory then, if the people are attracted to the child element, then the adult thing should put them off. I mean, I don't know. But anyways, people have complained about everything. People have complained about the English voice actor because the Japanese voice actor is Japanese, but the English voice actor is black. Personally, when it comes to voice acting, I don't think it matters unless a strong accent slips through that doesn't match the character. So I personally don't care about what the voice actor looks like. But anyways, there is so much to say about this, and I think it's absolute nonsense. And in fact, for those people who are saying that this should be boycotted, I'm gonna buy it just to be contrarian to them, because we're sick in the head of this idea that, talking about having children or talking about normal families, now that's a problem, how dare you? I'll show you how much we dare. We absolutely dare, because you're not going to try and tell us that having a family and having children and getting married, all of a sudden now it's a bad thing that we can't talk about. Absolutely not. We have a lot of interesting takes on X. Here we are told if Capcom's goal with Pragmata was to make everyone who plays this game want to be a parent, then they have done an amazing job. Great, then good. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. I always sit back when Diana starts playing and think to myself, so this is what it's like having a daughter. She's so cute. Great. Yeah, I'm sure it's one of the aspects of having a daughter. Absolutely. Mary Morgan was saying lots of strange reaction to this game. Let's clear some things up. Childless men do not have paternal instinct the way that childless women have maternal instinct. Well, she went very much into details of this. I think it's a little exaggerated, honestly. You'll have escort missions, but make that NPC a cute kid, and suddenly you'll burn the whole world down for them. Oh yeah, sure, of course. I think we all have protective instincts. Anyways, that's my opinion. That's my take. Take it or leave it. Let me know if you agree in the comments. Thank you for watching. I do, however, have a dedicated gaming channel, Metatron's Protectorate. I recently released a video about the Amiga 500, the Amiga 600. It's amazing, it's retro, but it's also modern gaming. Link in the description, shameless plug. If you're enjoying this video so far, please take a moment to check out my Patreon page. With as little as a $5 support, you can help us ensure that we can continue to produce high quality and high researched content. And at the same time, you get access to polls, extra videos, unlisted streams, and much more. Thank you so much.